The Uganda Martyrs are a group of 45 Christian converts who were executed between 1885 and 1887 on the orders of Mwanga II, the King of Buganda, a kingdom within present-day Uganda. Their martyrdom, driven by religious and political conflicts, had a profound impact on the spread of Christianity in East Africa and remains a poignant chapter in the history of the region. To fully appreciate the significance of the Uganda Martyrs, we must explore the context of their lives, the events leading up to their deaths, the religious conflicts of the time, and their enduring legacy. By the late 19th century, Buganda was one of the most powerful and influential kingdoms in East Africa. Its strategic location along the northern shores of Lake Victoria made it a central hub for trade, politics, and culture. The kingdom was ruled by a monarch, or kabaka, whose authority was bolstered by a complex system of chiefs and clan leaders. The arrival of European missionaries in the 1870s marked a turning point in Buganda's history. Anglican and Catholic missionaries, including the Church Missionary Society, CMS, and the White Fathers, began to establish missions and convert the local population to Christianity. Their efforts found a receptive audience among some members of the Bugandan elite, including prominent chiefs and pages, young courtiers. However, the introduction of Christianity also brought significant social and political upheaval. Traditional religious practices and the authority of the kabaka were challenged by the new faith, leading to tensions between converts and adherents of the traditional religion. These tensions were further exacerbated by the competing interests of European powers, particularly the British and the French, who sought to expand their influence in the region. Mwanga II ascended to the throne of Buganda in 1884, following the death of his father, Mukasa I. Unlike his father, who had been relatively tolerant of the missionaries, Mwanga was increasingly wary of their influence. He perceived the growing number of Christian converts, particularly among the pages and court officials, as a direct threat to his authority and the traditional religious order. The situation came to a head in 1885 when Bishop James Hannington, an Anglican missionary, was murdered on Mwanga's orders as he attempted to enter Buganda from the east. Hannington's death was a clear indication of the king's hostility towards the Christian missionaries and their converts. Mwanga's fears were not unfounded. The missionaries were not only spreading a new religion but also promoting ideas of equality and justice that undermined the hierarchical and autocratic structure of the Bugandan society. In addition to the tension between the traditional Bugandan religion and the new Christian faiths, there was also a significant conflict between different religious factions. Protestant and Catholic missionaries vied for influence, each seeking to convert as many followers as possible. This rivalry sometimes led to competition and discord among the converts themselves. Adding to the complexity, there was also a substantial Muslim population in Buganda, which had been growing since the time of Mukasa. The presence of Muslims, many of whom were also influential in the court, added another layer to the religious tensions. The turning point came in May 1886, when Mwanga's paranoia and anger reached a peak. He ordered the arrest and execution of a group of his pages who had converted to Christianity and refused to renounce their faith. Among the first to be martyred was Joseph Mukasa Balikuddembe, a senior advisor to the king and a Catholic convert, who was beheaded on November 15, 1885. Over the next several months, Mwanga intensified his persecution of Christian converts. The most notable event occurred between May 25 and June 3, 1886, when 32 young men, both Catholic and Anglican, were condemned to death. They were forced to march from the king's palace in Munyonyo to Namugongo, a distance of approximately 23 kilometers, 14 miles, where they faced a gruesome execution. The young men, ranging in age from 15 to 30, were bound and wrapped in reed mats before being burned alive. Among them were prominent figures such as Charles Lwanga, a leader among the Catholic converts, and Kizito, the youngest of the martyrs at only 14 years old. Their unwavering faith and courage in the face of horrific torture left an indelible mark on those who witnessed their martyrdom. Several key figures stand out among the Uganda Martyrs for their leadership and exemplary faith. Charles Lwanga, a Catholic convert and leader among the pages, Lwanga was instrumental in protecting the younger converts from the king's advances and brutal punishments. He was burned alive on June 3, 1886, at Namyagongo. His steadfastness in faith, even as he faced a torturous death, inspired many to embrace Christianity. Joseph Mukasa Balikuddembe, a senior Catholic convert and advisor to Mwanga, Balikuddembe openly criticized the king for his immoral behavior and the murder of Bishop Hannington. He was beheaded on November 15, 1885, becoming one of the first martyrs and setting a precedent for the persecution that followed. Kizito. At just 14 years old, Kizito was the youngest of the martyrs. Despite his youth, he exhibited extraordinary bravery, comforting his fellow converts as they faced execution. His innocence and faithfulness touched the hearts of many, making him a particularly poignant figure in the story of the martyrs. The broader religious conflict in Uganda during this period can be seen in the interactions between various religious groups. Henry Morton Stanley, the famed explorer, played a role in introducing Christianity to the region. In his letter to the Church Missionary Society, Stanley highlighted the potential for conversion in Uganda and urged the sending of missionaries to the region. His call was heeded, leading to the arrival of both Anglican and Catholic missionaries who began their evangelical work. However, the religious landscape was far from harmonious. The Protestant-Catholic rivalry sometimes erupted into violence, as both groups sought to dominate the religious scene. Converts from both factions found themselves caught in the middle of these conflicts, facing not only the wrath of the king but also the tensions between their respective religious communities. Muslim converts also faced persecution during this period. Several Muslims were executed under Mwanga's orders for their faith, highlighting that the king's campaign was not solely against Christians but against any form of religious conversion that threatened his authority. The inclusion of Muslim martyrs in this narrative underscores the complex interplay of religious and political dynamics in Uganda. The martyrdom of the Uganda Martyrs had far-reaching consequences for the spread of Christianity in East Africa. News of their sacrifice spread rapidly, drawing attention to the brutal persecution faced by converts in Uganda. The resilience and faith of the martyrs inspired a wave of conversions, as many were moved by their unwavering commitment to their faith even in the face of death. The Catholic Church, recognizing the significance of their sacrifice, beatified 22 of the Catholic martyrs in 1920, and they were canonized as saints by Pope Paul VI in 1964. The Anglican Church also honors its martyrs, commemorating their feast day on June 3 each year. This day, known as Martyrs' Day, is a major event in Uganda, attracting pilgrims from across the world to Namyagongo, where a basilica now stands on the site of their execution. The legacy of the Uganda Martyrs is not only a testament to the power of faith, but also a reflection of the broader historical and cultural shifts in East Africa during the late 19th century. Their story highlights the intersection of religion, politics, and colonial interests, illustrating the complex dynamics that shaped the region's history. The Uganda Martyrs remain a powerful symbol of faith and sacrifice, embodying the profound impact of religious conviction in the face of persecution. Their legacy continues to inspire Christians around the world and serves as a poignant reminder of the costs associated with the struggle for religious freedom and human dignity. In Uganda, the martyrs are celebrated as national heroes, their story woven into the fabric of the nation's history and identity. The Basilica at Namyagongo stands as a testament to their enduring influence, drawing countless pilgrims who seek to honor their memory and draw inspiration from their example. The Uganda Martyrs story is a compelling chapter in the annals of religious history, illustrating the transformative power of faith and the indomitable spirit of those who dare to stand up for their beliefs, even in the face of certain death. Their sacrifice continues to resonate, reminding us of the universal quest for freedom, justice, and human dignity.